Hi, this is Mr. Payton. Welcome to Standing on Their Shoulders. It's 2023 and I wanted to go in a different direction. I really want to talk about my experience as a black man in the United States. And so I thought about, do I do black history? Do I do where do I go with this? And so, yes, I'm going to talk about black history, but from a personal perspective. I want to do this almost as a narrative, as a set of stories or a set of experiences. So my strategy and how I go about this is going to be possibly spoken word, poetry, quotes, maybe even songs. But I would like to really try to give you an insight to what it's like to be a professional, to be an educator, to be an activist, to be a father, be a son, a member of a family, member of many different communities as we all are, but just to talk about the complexities of being a black man in the United States. And the reason why I thought this was important to do next is my current experience has me in a place where those around me have I would say they have at least a respect for the fact that I'm black, which is a term that's particular only to the United States, meaning that if I was in another country, no one would call me black. They would just call me by whatever nationality that is. For example, when you go to France, you don't say, look at the black Frenchman. You just say he's French. And I don't think people really understand how significant that is to live in a country. Now, that doesn't mean they don't have any prejudices thrown their way or anything like that, but just in recognition, just by name, here we call people African American. You would not be an African Frenchman. That's not a thing. That's only a thing here. So I think just some of those types of nuances is what I would like to share and discuss. And again, my current experience leads me to believe that there is a need for this conversation. For me, I'm going to break this up into a couple of different areas. First, I want to talk about my family and my own personal history, my own interaction with other African Americans as well as Africans, and all of the diaspora that includes what is the experience of anyone who is of African descent. But I also want to get into the history. Obviously, things that have happened here in the United States are very particular to us. They are happening all over the world, but very particular to the African American experience. I want to obviously get into some of the civil rights movements and compare them to some of the other movements that are going on now. But more than anything, I want it to be a celebration of persistence, perseverance, and what I like to call champions. I believe that there are people who are absolute champions, whether or not they've been recognized for it, or if you believe that they weren't the pioneers they were, it doesn't matter to me. Whatever contribution you have made to the country I live in, which is the United States, which I think is the greatest country in the world, though it has its issues, I still wouldn't rather live anywhere else. I want to celebrate the fact that there are people who have contributed, that are trying to make change, that are trying to lead, myself included, and who are trying to just find their place. As human beings, sometimes it's really easy to get caught up in, paying bills or stress or social media or anything. There's just pressures coming from everywhere. And I feel like we don't do enough celebrating. We don't do enough patting on the back. And as they say, we don't give people their roses while they're still here, meaning while they're still alive. We like to celebrate people when they die, but we're not really good about celebrating people while we're here because I think sometimes we lose perspective on how significant the accomplishments are of others. So for me, this is, again, very personal. I am an African American man. I live in Arizona. And my experience in Arizona, mostly the greater Phoenix area, as an African American man, has been a very specific experience. Maybe if you live in New York, you don't have this experience. Maybe if you live down south, you don't have this experience. But I want to share my experience, and I hope that it is helpful to others. And so, again, the title of this series is going to be Standing on Their Shoulders, because I recognize I'm standing on the shoulders of people who have sacrificed, who have accomplished great things, And I never lose sight of the fact that I'm part of a collective. I'm part of a group of people that has a certain level of pride, that has a certain soul to them. And so I'd like to share that with you. I'm looking forward to this series and looking forward to your feedback. Again, if you've never seen this channel before and subscribed to it, my name is Mr. Payton. I am an educator, and I use this as an opportunity to share lessons that may or may not get into my classroom, or just things that are just on my mind. And so I hope that this intro has given you some value and has made you want to watch the next couple of episodes that are coming this way. So thank you for watching. Thank you for paying attention. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Thank you.